Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott. Welcome to the Prog Corners Sunday Prog stream. What is it, number 24, I guess? But, we don't actually keep track. We're just waiting for everybody to come on in, find your seat. The sermon is about to begin, but I am joined by my revolving cast of absolute prog rock gurus, but the rock solid foundation of the Sunday Prog stream has been my co-host Wayne. How you doing this morning, Wayne?
Not too bad. Gonna be moving in the next week or month, so it's going good, and got a lot of interesting stuff coming up on the channel. A reaction to DOA by Blood Rock, Victoria by the Kinks.
Yeah, I love that record.
Yeah, In the Presence of by Yes, Alive, Coyote by Joni Mitchell, and whatever else I decide to do.
Yeah, that's good
Joni
stuff.
Mitchell. Cool.
Cody, hey, what's going on? You might as well be the other co-host. What is going on here, sir? How are you?
I'm doing really good. Just the same as usual happening, right? I mean, of course, I got a couple of cool concerts coming up. We got Kevin going on. What's up, Kevin?
Yeah,
Kevin from Prog Radio.
Prog Radio.
I got two really fun radio shows happening. One on Prog Radio, one on Deep Nuggets Radio. Both on Thursdays. So you just listen to the radio all day, and you'll hear me do two shows. Other than that, yeah, we're still having fun on Brockway's Vinyl Bites. So go subscribe to my channel. You'll see some cool, fun stuff we've been working on. Yesterday, we did a live stream with a few of the people on this panel. Actually, we had Wayne and Ponce
That was a
there.
great stream, Cody. Amazing. And Kevin's bringing up DOA because you talked about Blood Rock, but Timothy, what a twisted song that was. If you guys remember that one. Dude who wrote If You Like Pina Coladas actually wrote that song about three brothers. They go down into a cave or something and only two come back because they done ate Timothy. He's talking about his belly being full and stuff. What a twisted song. Only Kevin from Prog Radio would know that. We got Peter Jones in the house, an alumni from the Sunday Prog stream, the great French vinyl addict. We love you, FVA. You're a great guy, even though we don't know your real name. And we don't need to know your real name, but we do know Tara's real name from Prague. Oh, yeah, making this place a much more enjoyable experience. Absolutely. How you doing, Tara?
Oh, thank you so much. I'm doing great. I'm on my own tonight because Dad's not feeling the best. So he'll be back soon.
He's coming better.
We've had loads going on the channel. We've just released our top 10 bass players yesterday, and that did really well. Lots of people were surprised to see our mentions and all that. And we've got some interesting stuff coming this week, so stay tuned.
I haven't seen that bass players one yet, but it's one I've been waiting for, and I'm really excited to go check it out.
Yeah,
it was really good.
I believe it. Spinning Prog, you guys. Spinning Prog is great.
Cody, did you see this? The French vinyl addict, he's unmasked. His real name is Ramold. I did not know that. That's awesome. Thank you for revealing your real name. I always felt weird when you were coming on calling you, hey, French vinyl addict. It just didn't sound right. It didn't roll off the tongue. But you know what does? Harold. That's a good, solid name. Harold the Barrel. Harold the Unstoppable, who returned after a long... That was your debut, right?
Last week we did the Genesis show, and I was really on fire because Genesis is my favorite band, and I know everything about them.
That was an incredible performance, Harold. That was amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell me about what you got going on your incredible channel this week.
Yeah, today I recorded a new episode on my Harold's Prog Rock show, and I have been doing the ranking of the Led Zeppelin studio albums.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That was real fun.
Yeah, always.
And I hope lots of visitors will come in, of course. And maybe I'm talking with Scott about a guest appearance on my channel, and I'm excited if that will happen.
Well, it will happen. It's just getting the timing right. We'll figure out the right time. We'll talk about that. But yeah, that'll definitely happen. In the meantime, what's happening with the Stockholm Stalker the absolute Viking nightmare that is Pontus.
Well, we're doing fine. We're doing
Pontus,
fine.
Before you get started, man, before you get started, I just got to give a shout out to Ponk Media, whose comment I'm spotlighting right here. It's Mark Robinson, runs this label called Ponk, and yes, it was the label that my band Wedge Piece was on. So I am technically label mates with Gigi Allen, Tiny Tim, Sleepy LaBeef, and Nervous Norvis. What an amazing collection of weirdo talent Ponk Media put together. Welcome to the show, Mark. We'll definitely get you on and up screen talking about all your projects that you've got going on with your amazing roster, which I just don't know exactly how I fit into all that, but thank you, Mark Robinson from Ponk Media. Hey, we got Mythologic in the house. None but heavy hitters today. I'm sorry, Pontus. Tell me what you got going on.
Yeah, I'm as many people know, I'm part of the Contrarians, and we just put up a few things I've been on. We talked about 60s music versus 70s music, and we have a discussion about that. And I mentioned we had a discussion about are all concept albums prog albums, and that is actually up now. And
that's
we also
a real
have
question.
Yeah, it's a good question, especially when you've mentioned Johnny Cash. When you throw him in the mix, you better beware. And we also had this what we called Dark Horse albums, and we discussed Queen the Game. So that is up and running as well. So go out and check out the Contrarians, Martin Popoff and the rest of us. It's a very fun and illustrious crowd.
Yeah, the legendary Martin Popoff.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of rock music, you don't have to be a fan of prog, but if you're a fan of rock music and you enjoy reading, there's a good chance you've read something Martin Popoff has written, and that is an absolute fact.
I've even had him on my channel.
In the house.
Hey, Jeff.
Jeff Shilka's in the house. Jeff, be kind to Ian. He's trying to make amends. We know we've had problems in the peanut gallery among some people, so let's play nice. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Jeff is under my protection, so you don't need to worry, Jeff. Nobody's going to mess with you. So be nice to Ian. He is trying to be a nice guy, and he even brings up an excellent one right there. One of these days, I wonder if anybody's going to have that one in their top 10 album openers. But we're going to find out right now as we start with the great Wayne from Prisms of Prague, and he's going to give us his top 10 prog rock. It doesn't have to be prog rock. You can pick whatever you want. Their top 10 plus whatever honorable mentions you got. Wayne, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Scott. I do know I did message you this week and said, my list, you might take away my prog credentials after some of my picks on this. But I'll start off at number 10. I'll go through the list and then give him my honorable mentions at the end. Number 10 for me, I'd do anything for love, but I won't do that by Meatloaf.
Okay.
From Bat Out of Hell 2. Just a great song. And Jim Steinman on the keys and Todd Rundgren on guitar. Just fantastic. Meatloaf had one of those voices that I just always really thought he was a great singer.
I didn't know Todd played on the second Bat album. That's cool.
Yeah, he was the guitar player also on the second.
Yeah, that song was everywhere in the 90s.
Good one. Yeah. And it's prog enough for me, so yeah, I got no
12 minutes.
Again, is a concept album automatically prog, like Pontus asked the question. What yeah.
Anyway, number 9 for me, another song that has been pretty much everywhere, In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. Just absolutely love that song.
The drums are fantastic in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Number 8 for me, Golf Girl by Caravan.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Hey.
Yeah,
Now
from
I
the
join.
Land of Grey and Pink.
Wow.
Just one of those
wow,
nice
wow,
poppy
wow.
ballads.
Wow. Wow. Good call.
That is a good pick.
Didn't think of that one.
No, me neither.
That's a good one.
Number 7 for me, Utopia Theme by Todd Rundgren
Oh, yeah.
from the Utopia album.
Ooh,
Oh,
yes.
you just clicked all the right boxes with Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, your Prog card is definitely not being revoked, Wayne. What are you on about?
Not with the Utopia theme. Absolutely not.
Spot on, like.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
What was that? Number 8?
Number 6, or let's see.
You're on number
be number 6.
No, what was 7?
Oh, 7. Let's see, Utopia, Caravan. Yeah, it would be on to number 6.
Okay. I can't
Meeting
count.
of the Spirits, Mahavishnu Orchestra.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, good.
That's a good one.
Number 5, Pseudo Silk Kimono, Kaylee and Lavender by Marillion.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're on fire, Wayne.
Misplaced childhood.
Now I'm changing my top 10. And that's what I'm going to do. If anybody names one of mine, it's coming out because I've got a million honorable mentions. So this will clean things up. But yeah, I concur with that one.
Number
I
4.
gotta ask a question about Marillion. Is anyone here a fan of the Hogarth era of that band?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very good.
Seasons End. Great album.
I think the only one I heard is maybe a couple songs from Grace. That was it.
Right.
So
I'm
far,
not a big
so.
fan of Marillion, but the
Brave?
songs that
You
I've heard
Brave?
with him, I like his.
I love Brave. I love Marbles. I love Fear. I love the new one. So good. It took me a while, though. I got to say, when Fish left, I lost interest for a long time. It took Marbles in 2004 for me to come back to Marillion. And I could have picked a couple of Marillion tracks from either the H era or the Fish era, but yeah, Pseudo Silk Kimono is obviously the correct choice for that band. It's perfect.
He gave me whiskey once.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you did.
So random.
It was actually part of the Christmas show. Everybody was assembled around a Christmas tree and given in the interim of his show. He gave everybody a small amount of whiskey. That was just fantastic.
There you go.
Carry on, Wayne.
Yeah, on to number 4. From the album Nude by Camel, City Life.
Wow.
Good.
That whole album is just perfect.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nude is beautiful. Duncan McKay, one of my favorite keyboard players of all time. Yeah, just a dynamite record.
On to number 3, Dancing in the Moonlit Night by Genesis.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't see that coming. I'm just joking. Just joking, man.
Number 2 for me, said in the comments already, One of These Days, Pink Floyd.
Metal.
Oh, great. Great. Oh yeah, there's the Ear album.
Yeah.
I love that record, man.
Yeah.
Such a great record.
I can't argue with
Echoes.
One of These Days.
Everything
Echoes.
about that thing. Pillow of Winds. Come on.
Yeah.
That's a great album.
Incredible.
And number 1 for me is, which one do I pick? There's so many on this list to pick that, heck with it. I'll go with it. I'm going to choose, where the hell is it?
Wayne, the suspense.
Danger Money.
I know, it's killing me.
Danger Money by UK.
Ah,
Yeah.
Wow.
Great stuff.
All right.
I like it a
that's a
lot.
good one.
It's my favorite.
My honorable mentions would be Sunrise by Uriah Heep.
Good.
is a great one.
Yeah.
Lady of the Lake by Starcastle.
Yeah, I thought about that one.
Yeah.
Tower 1 by the Flower Kings.
Oh yeah.
School by Supertramp.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Cirrus, Eye in the Sky by the Alan Parsons Project.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Oh, love me some APP.
Almost made my list too.
And Chasing Shadows by Deep Purple.
Oh,
All right.
that's a good one.
What album is that from?
That's
the
from
old
their
Deep
third
Purple.
one, the last with Rod Evans on vocals.
Okay.
As Ian Pace was an absolute machine on that song.
Yeah. Absolutely. He was on like Fireball and all those other songs too. But yeah, he's amazing. Great picks.
Yeah, good call. All of them. Love it. So that, Wayne, that's going to be pretty hard to beat that. That's a good top 10 right there. You kept your number of honorable mentions to a nice tidy amount, but that doesn't mean we all have to follow suit, because I've still got an enormous stack of honorable mentions. Hopefully you guys will pick them, as we go along, and I can weed out my honorable mentions. But Cody, I trust you're going to have some good ones here for me.
Well, I went into this knowing that some of you are going to think that I'm wrong, and some of you are going to think that this is incorrect. It's incorrect, and it's I bet that some of these are probably not on some other people's lists. But you know what? That's a thing called diversity, right? And we're all here to spread the love of music. So my honorable mentions are Peter Gabriel's Darkness from his Up album, Pink Floyd, Speak to Me from Dark Side of the Moon, and Queen's Death on Two Legs. And honestly, honorable mention to Kansas Leftover Tour album with Tear on My Wayward Son. That's great.
Yeah.
But my number 10, I got mostly CDs to pick from here, but I got one record. Now, if you remember back to the album closers video, I picked this album for its album closer. That was a song called For Crying Out Loud. We got to go with the album that's beside Tara's head.
Wow.
Oh, I think this album is magnificent. I really do.
Wow.
And obviously Tara likes it too. It's up in the cubicle. Yeah, this is an awesome album. And that a 9.5-minute track starting off the album, this epic piece with this monstrous vocal and just all these hills and valleys and things that it goes through. It's always been one of my favorite songs and always will be. I love this album. The whole everything about this album cover, front and back, is very iconic. Him touching Jim Steinman's wife. It's just such a funny picture. I love this album, and the whole image with the bat. If you ever come into my record store here in Caledonia, I've actually got this guy on the motorcycle painted up on the wall.
Yeah.
So, I love this
That's
album.
dedication right there.
Yeah, this is an iconic album, and I love it. Number 9 is something that you could consider to be prog adjacent. You definitely wouldn't call it definitive progressive rock, but like, let's just say Prog Radio could get away with playing this song on their station, and that is Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding from Elton John.
Yeah.
It's
That's
perfect.
definitely Prog. That is so Prog.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Dream Theater did that one on the cover album.
Indeed, yeah, it's so good.
Don't worry, they're coming up soon.
Of course they are. It's you, Cody.
Absolutely agree with that call, Cody.
But I think the whole album is great, and side one, it goes from that to Candle in the Wind and Benny and the Jets. It's just a perfect trifecta of tunes.
Side one, perfect.
Great kickoff.
It's awesome. But then again, I even like Jamaica Jerk Off, and I've seen that movie too, and all the other deep cuts on this. I think this is a magnificent album. It's one of those albums where you hear it for the first time and go, oh my God, I need to hear this like 10 more times just right now.
It seemed like nobody was capable of putting out a bad record in 1973.
Yeah, that's true.
You
That's true. I haven't heard anything that's
unbelievable.
No.
Number 8. You could say that this could be very prog influenced, but it is thrash metal. Of course, it's from 1990. It's Megadeth's Rust in Peace. Starts off with Holy Wars, The Punishment Due. How long is that track? It's about 6.5 minutes, and just all the movements and things that it goes through. Starts off really crazy, slows down in the middle, comes back, and really ends on a really high note. That's just before I even liked Megadeth, I really liked the first part of this song, and then I grew more into the band, and I was like, okay, yeah, this whole song is just a masterpiece. It's just great. Obviously, for some people, Dave's voice is kind of something that's like, okay, maybe some people are not super into it, and I totally understand because I was once that way too. But then I just kept listening to this and listening and listening. I was like, oh yeah, I love this. I love this thing. Now I'm a huge fan. I've seen them live and everything. But great stuff. So now we're going back again to, I believe it was 1974 this time. Frank Zappa, Apostrophe.
Yay!
The Yellow Snow Suite. I'm going 4 tracks up in this. Boom, 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 boom.
You did everybody.
The whole thing.
Yeah. You knew I would. Oh, yeah. You can't. I mean, you could buy those compilations that have, half of Yellow Snow and half of Nanook Rubs It together in one track. That's not for me.
Nah.
That's not the way I like to listen to any music. I don't particularly like single edits too much. So if you listen to my radio shows, you'll hear the full thing. Like the last show I did on Prog Radio, I played Chicago's ballet, the ballet from the second album, but not just Color My World and Make Me Smile. I played the whole 12-minute thing.
Yeah, and it's very good.
That's how to listen to it. Like that's the songs weren't intended to be split up like that, right? But yeah, Yellow Snow from Frank Zappa, love it. We're really going into the prog world here with he's actually got a brand new album out. It's Steve Hackett, Ace of One.
Good.
I was listening to Matt's show on Deep Nuggets Radio last week, and he put on Ace of Wands after this really calm song, and all of a sudden Ace of Wands, just every time you hear it, it explodes out of the speakers. And that's what I love about it. Just it's great. And honestly, got to give a shout out to Steve's new album.
Yeah, great
I'm
stuff.
totally blown away by this. I mean, I love all of his albums for the most part. Like, I think he's been on a really high wave for the last couple, but this one, it just, to me, I mean, I know not everyone necessarily feels the same, but I think this album really knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
And no, that was not anything about Scott saying it's a 9 out of 10. I have some other friends who actually have done reviews and stuff, and it's like they weren't a big fan of the album, and so I was like, wow, I'm actually kind of blown away by how good this is.
Me too. Because like you said, not everyone has been universally praising it. The biggest complaint that I'm hearing is it sounds just like his last few, and there's some validity to that, but I think it's so much better, and I think it's next level Hackett. I really do.
Yeah,
I agree with you, and I like that. Yeah, I mean, sure, there is some same production values to it, right? Like, obviously,
Roger King.
Yeah, but we get a track with Nad Sylvan on this album. I really like Nad Sylvan, and so I liked hearing him on this. But the whole concept, if you have the vinyl edition of this and you look in the lyrics and you follow along, it's like the Joe's Garage album, in which at the beginning of each song there's a little script of what the next song is going to lead you to into the next part of the story, and it's so well done. It's so good. But
I really hope he plays it live, and get people to listen to it live, because he's been stuck a bit with the Genesis stuff. And he's got lots of music that he needs to play to people. People need to listen to this.
Agree. And it's awesome.
I bought the album last Thursday, and I've listened to this new concept album from Steve Hackett, and I think it's really outstanding.
Yeah. It is. It's so outstanding. It's not even in the house. It's great.
Yeah.
No, it's an awesome album. I love it top to bottom, and I would probably rank it as one of his best albums. But that's just me. I think it's a great album.
Yeah.
And but we're talking about this one. This is well, what a way to start a solo career. Like, this is his first album ever outside of Genesis, and Obviously, it's got 3 members of Genesis on it. No Tony Banks, right? It's kind of like the Lost Genesis album, but that first track really sets you up to take you on an incredible journey. So that's my number 6.
Okay.
Number 5 is one that has been picked here already.
Hey, I love that one.
Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight. Face value. Sorry, Phil, I didn't mean to throw you around like that. But
give him a kiss.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll kiss the back there. There we go. I think this is an awesome album. It really, truly is a departure from his Genesis stuff, but not in a bad way. This is really him finding his own sound outside of the progginess that was Genesis. He's kind of got a Motown thing going on here. He's kind of got some ballads, and he's got that song Hand in Hand, which is like an instrumental, almost jazzy, funky kind of bit. But In the Air Tonight really sets you up with that whole mood and this brooding environment, this emotional thing that he's got going on with the song. And then it comes to a climax, obviously, with the signature part of arguably his whole solo career. As a drummer, you have no idea how many times people have told me to get behind the kit and just play that fill for them. But it's great. It's great. And so Phil Collins is number 5.
Okay.
Number 4, the album that is still continuing to change lives to this very day. A lot of people who don't even know King Crimson know this cover. And a lot of people who may not know much about King Crimson usually know Schizoid Man. I know it's been sampled in some rap songs here and there. I think Kanye West sampled it many years ago. And Greg Lake even performed it on stage with him. I feel sorry that Greg had to do that, but it was cool of him. 21st Century Schizoid Man. It's so quiet at the beginning that it's like, if you never heard it before, you go, what's that? You can hear almost sounds like a train or something. I can't really tell what it is. Then crank it up, and then it's like an explosion. Your ears, the speakers just blow up, and Robert Fripp's guitar part starts coming out of that. Then you got this really sort of menacing verse from Greg Lake, and you get this sort of jazzy bit. Yeah, Opeth, the Eternal Rains Will Come. Love that track. Sorry, I just had to shout that out.
I had to throw that in there.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Swedish band right there.
Okay.
I think the sound in the beginning of that is actually a reed organ. They're fooling around with the reed organ, and you have someone said they breathed into those pipes. I don't know, but it's actually one of those you have to pump.
Okay. That's. I'm gonna have to turn this on really freaking loud for about 10 seconds after just to see.
Yeah.
On the pop set, you get the whole session, so you can hear what they're doing.
I've got the other one. I want this one.
Kind of spooky sound, and they managed.
This is just a spectacular. Obviously, I think this is the first King Crimson album that I ever owned, and it's just that song. It's been covered by many people before. It's just great. It's great, and it's got that really weird ending too. Love it. Number 3. Open your eyes, Nicholas. just that whole intro. It kind of reminds me of Dark Side of the Moon, where except for a heartbeat, it's got that. I will count backwards from 10, and it's got that beautiful, calm voice that leads you into that acoustic sort of precursor to Spirit Carries On. Safe in the light that surrounds me, like that whole beginning part. I guess it's not the overture, it's the regression track.
Right.
But I'm doing the whole thing, regression into overture.
Yeah, it's all crossfaded together. So
yeah. Just amazing. I think this album is absolutely, like, when I first got into this, it was like, oh my gosh, this is a life changer. This is one of those. And speaking of life-changing albums, you know me and my love of prog metal. I have to pick Tool.
okay.
Cool.
the album that really got me into Tool was probably the Fear Inoculum record, but this one is just oh, as a drummer, you listen to this and it's like I can't even believe this is happening.
Wait a second. You just said that
That's so accurate.
the album that got you into Tool was Fear Inoculum.
Well, I'd known about Tool because my dad was a Tool fan. But I became a massive fan of Tool with the Fear Inoculum. Like I knew a couple of tracks off this. Like I knew Schism and Parabola and Ticks and Leeches and such.
Right.
But the album that made me go, okay, this is one of my favorite bands of all time is Fear Inoculum. I remember when it came out, and because I owned the store, I got the CD a bit earlier than people could purchase it. And so I remember listening to it and I was like, wow. Like, I just cannot believe how great this is. And then I heard this, and it's like, this is just amazing. I mean, The Grudge, this track going into The Patient, and all the other great tracks on this. What can I say? The Grudge is 8.5 minutes of just totally prog metal heaven. It's heavy. It's got a 24-second scream from Maynard in the middle, and that sets you up for absolute hell at the end of the track. That's what I like, some hell in my music, you know, and they have that whole outro where the time signatures are playing against each other. I think the drums are playing in 5, and then there's a click track, there's like a clap track that comes in on 4/4 over top of them, and it just, the way it meshes together. Then the band comes back in full swing for the last minute and a half of the tune, and they're playing this absolutely insane rhythm. I think it's in something like 5. It's crazy. It's crazy, and so getting into Tool the way I did really affected the way I play drums. Not, you know, it just, in seeing them live, it's like, okay, I could either stop what I'm doing, I could just give up the drums in total, or go ahead and learn most of their discography. And so I chose that route because I think Danny Carey is an excellent drummer. Yeah. And this was my gateway to this. So, you know, it's like,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I had heard both bands before, and I kind of admired them, but like once I got into Tool through Fear Inoculum, I went back and checked out their older albums like this, and then I got into stuff like this, and now, you know, Opeth and Symphony X and all that fun stuff, right? Number 1, my favorite band of all time, alongside Harold, and I think maybe Pontus too. And I think, no, Scott, your favorite band is Yes, right? Of all time, it's Yes. But then I know this one's close.
Oh, yeah.
Watch for the Skies.
Gotta be there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Good.
This album was in the album closers video, and it's in the album openers video. And you know what? Honestly, I've seen some people saying some really rude things about this album somewhere in the comment sections. If you were to have a middle album section, this one would still be in there too, because I love all the tracks in between the beginning and the end.
Yeah,
I think
it's a very good album.
Timetable was not one of my top favorite Genesis songs, but still it gets a pass because it is really good. Get Them Out by Friday, Can Utility and the Coastliners.
Amazing.
Some of the most fun I've had playing the drums was learning Can Utility. Because there's a lot of real subtleties and things that he does there. And I think it's incredible. And, you know, what can I say? It is a masterpiece. Yeah. Kevin, you are right, man.
Yeah. Woo! When you do a live album right after, you know, and you still have the same opening track on Foxtrot as on Genesis Live, clearly there's a reason why you had it at number 1. I wonder if it's going to be on my list, that little Watcher of the Skies song. Or did I scratch it off?
I want to take one more second just to honor what's on Wayne's shirt, because I love Metallica, and they have many album openers that I could have absolutely chosen for this list. Fight Fire with Fire, killer.
Wow. Harold's shirt, hello.
And obviously ELP with the Barbarian. I've been a big fan of that song, you know.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love one.
Yeah,
it is. I love that shirt, Harold. Don't make me come steal it.
A lot of people are mentioning epic tracks as openers. We've even had a couple of the panelists include epic tracks as openers. Here's Coffee Mountain talking about Car Mechanics God. part 1 off their Dot album. It's 22 minutes long. I am not putting Close to the Edge on my list as the best openers of all time. I am not putting Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick as best opener or best closer. So if it's an epic, I'm kind of treating it separate. But you guys can do whatever you want to.
We will.
Hey, Scott. So after your video coming up, why don't we do epics afterwards?
Okay, that could be a good one.
God.
That could be a good one. Yeah, top 10 epics. I like it.
Mike Oldfield's Amarok.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, hey, Cody, you got anything else?
Well, if I was going the 20-minute song route, I definitely would have picked this. I didn't pick anything that was. I kind of kept it 10 minutes and under. That was by accident. Oh, I guess Elton John is like 11 minutes. Yeah. But this is 18, right? No, I got nothing else. I want to hear what Tara has to say.
I know, me too, man. I'm excited. Tara, take it away. The floor.
We love you, Tara.
I'm going to start off with my honorable mentions because I tried to go a different route with this and pull out some kind of not very well-known good album openers, and I might introduce some people to new stuff. I don't know. So my honorable mentions, one of these days has to go in. I'm currently choreographing a routine to that at the moment, so I'm sick of listening to it.
I would love to see that. I'll
have it up. My personal YouTube has all my stuff up on it, so just look up Tara O'Reilly and you'll see him.
I will.
Cool. I also have the start of Octavarium, The Root of All Evil. That's an honourable mention. And the start of Blackwater Park by Opeth, because the Leper Affinity is a banger.
Tara, you are speaking my language.
I know. Prog metal and Tara. Who would have known? The start of 10,000 Days as well. I mean, come on.
I love Opeth, even though.
Yes,
love it.
yes.
I love it. Oh, I'm moving to Ireland.
my new husband, Cody. Next, I have H to He Who Am the Only One, because Killer is such a good tune, Vandergraaf Generator. Yeah, and I put in Fugazi by Marillion because Assassin is absolutely beautiful. And I have Bat Out of Hell behind me and Crack the Sky by Mastodon, because Oblivion is really good.
That's good.
So
That's
I want
really
to get into my list. I'm going to stop banging on now, but I didn't put in Genesis or anything because I knew everyone else would be going for that. So I said I'll try and change it up and give you a little.
We appreciate that.
So I'm starting off with an Irish band, The Horsemen. Now, this is absolutely brilliant. This song, it starts off with a little ballad on a trumpet, goes into the guitar, and it goes into a song called Trouble with a capital T. And it is absolutely mind-blowing. And it's very famous here too. So, yeah, Horselips.
Yeah.
Horselips, yeah. They're good.
Now, next is a CD. Frequency by IQ.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Wonderful Andy Edwards playing the drums on it. Yeah. And Andy's YouTube channel is one of my favorite YouTube channels of all time. Like, he just says it as it is and he does not care.
We love Andy. Yeah.
I love him. He's brilliant. And I've got another CD here. And if you watch my channel, you know I'm always banging on about Jah Wobble. And his album, Take Me to God, starts with a song called God in the Beginning. And the bass riff right at the start is unreal. If you've never heard this album, please listen to it. Please, I'm begging you. It's life-changing.
And then what's it called
now,
again?
Next,
that's Jah Wobble.
It's called Take Me to God by Jah Wobble.
I know what I'm doing after the show.
Check it out. I'm telling you, it's absolutely amazing.
I will. And you'll be hearing from me.
The Endless Enigma.
Yeah.
I mean, when you first heard this, just think of when you first heard this, you put it on and you were going, what is about to happen? Because it's just nuts, but it's brilliant. And I could have pulled out Tarkus as well. That's some album, like. Yeah. But yeah, the opener for this, I think, is brilliant.
I think it's a very deep cut. I think it's a very deep cut among, ELP fans.
Yeah.
I really love that. I really love that suite.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
three
it's
tracks of
absolutely
that.
fantastic. It's amazing. Brilliant, like.
Carl
Now,
drew on mine.
I'm always talking about this on my channel. The Impossible Dream by the sensational Alex Harvey Band. It opens up with Vambo, which is a comic book character he came up with. And the drums just go and the guitar kicks in. It's just unreal. Great opener. If you haven't heard it, check it out. I'm looking at you, Cody. I know you haven't heard this.
I haven't heard it.
I haven't. I've heard of Alex Harvey, but I've never heard that. So I got some homework to do today.
Yeah,
Yes, you do.
Good.
You know what?
Now,
After that-
someone else, right? Someone else that we never talk about. Santana.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
This album, the start of it, Dance Sister Dance, is so good.
Yeah.
Groovy out. Like, you just literally want to jump up and dance when it comes on, and it just puts you in the best mood ever. So this had to be on my list.
I should have put
Have
a
you heard the
Braxis on my
live
list,
version of
man.
that?
I have, yeah.
On the
Absolutely
Santana
love
album?
it.
Yeah, it's bonkers, man. You know.
Absolutely. But now
Santana's great.
we're going into a bit of a psychedelic realm here.
Oh,
Hawkwind, Quark,
Yeah.
Strangeness and Charm.
Ooh.
Starts off with Spirit of the Age. Oh my God. When I first heard this, I actually nearly started crying. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was looking at my poor dad like, well, where's this been all my life? I love it.
That was the first Hawkwind album I ever heard. I walked into a record store. They were playing that. I ended up buying Hall of the Mountain Grill that day because I thought the album cover looked cooler. But that was the music they were playing that made me want to buy something by the Hawkwind. Who the heck are these guys? Oh, I love that album. Good call.
Brilliant. Now, I have 2 albums by this band because I couldn't pick one. So I have the Moody Blues, On the Threshold of a Dream, and
Oh,
To Our
yes.
Children's Children. The start of these is just epic. I absolutely love Graham Edge's poetry that he comes out with on all their albums. And this one, what does he say? Blasting off with the power of 1 billion butterfly sneezes. I mean, where are you going to hear that? Like,
And how does Graham Edge do this hippie poetry? And even now, 55 years later, it doesn't sound like all, ironically cool. It actually is cool, man.
it's so cool.
It's so
it sounds funny.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Right.
He did that on all the
Threshold
early
of a
albums.
Dream. I mean, the beginning of that and the ending of that is just fantastic. It's just a fantastic album.
So, Discipline by King Crimson, Elephant Talk.
Good.
Harry, you're gonna make me
my
cry.
God. The way Robert Fripp can make his guitar sound like an elephant. I mean, wow. How? And Adrian Belew's lyrics on this are just nuts. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So crazy
a lot
album.
of those guitar noises you're hearing, that's Belew, man. People were hiring Belew to do session work because they heard about this weird American guitar player who could make his guitar sound like anything. Just incredible what he brought to King Crimson. So
he's
good.
absolutely fantastic.
The Chapman
Absolutely
stuff on
brilliant.
that.
Oh,
I love it, yeah. Oh my God. Now, my last pick is Presence by Led Zeppelin because it starts with Achilles' Last Stand, and that is just absolute. This is my favorite Zeppelin album. Like, I'm just going to say it now. Probably going to get some abuse over that, but sure. What's new?
That band single-handedly put me on the path that I'm on today.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
That band.
So, that's my little list, and I tried to go
Beautiful.
for some unconventional.
Wow.
Yeah,
and
very
I
good.
hope you enjoyed.
No, that was
It took me
amazing.
forever.
Did.
I'm officially moving to Ireland. What can I say? That was a great. I'm joking about that, but that was a great list, Tara. Good job.
Incredible,
Thank you.
incredible,
Really good
Tara. And we hope your dad's feeling better though.
He'll be
That's
fine.
important.
And
We love Dermot. So say hi for us.
Indeed,
of course.
indeed. And now, the moment everybody's been waiting for. Let's not be coy. Let's not pretend that You know, it isn't something that it isn't. The elephant in the room is that Harold is in the house, and everybody wants to know what he's bringing to the forefront today. Is it going to be the calm, demure, relaxed Dutch guy that we've all known and loved, or is it going to be this fiery cat that I never knew existed that we met for the very first time last week? Let's find out. Harold, what are your top 10 favorite album openers, sir?
It is a very difficult item for me. So I have 8 honorable mentions and 10, then my top 10.
There you go. That's fine.
In fact, 18 albums. I have I've also chosen some albums maybe nobody knows, but that's interesting because all the Genesis and Pink Floyd stuff everybody knows. But I will start with Trevor Rabin. Last year, Trevor Rabin made a new album called Rio. Trevor Rabin, famous with 915 from Yes. Oh, yeah, great stuff.
Incredible album.
And in fact, this was my #1 album from last year, 2023. I think it's fantastic. And
it's really good.
If you like 915 from Yes, you have to listen to this one because it's great. And the album opener is Big Mistakes. That was the first single. And I think it's a great song. And the best song on this album is, in fact, These Tears. That is a fantastic ballad. Okay. So, Big Mistakes, my first honorable mention. Then we go to Porcupine Tree with their latest album, Closure Continuation. I've seen this tour. I've seen this show in Amsterdam. And this show in Amsterdam is now on DVD. That's great. The show from 2022. Maybe the longest concert I've ever been because Stephen Wilson and his band played for 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Nice.
Almost 3 hours of music from Porcupine Tree in Amsterdam, and you can get it on CD and DVD and on vinyl.
Awesome.
But
I saw the Stockholm gig, yeah.
This is the studio album, Closure Continuation, and the first song is called Haridan, and that is my number 17.
Good pick.
Then go over to number 16, Simple Minds. I think it's Prog. Maybe you don't think it's Prog, but it is Prog. And Sparkle in the Rain is the album, and the first song is called Up on the Catwalk. The whole album is fantastic. It's from the 80s. And the most famous song from this album is Waterfront. Okay. Then we go to another band from the 80s, the German band Propaganda with a Secret Wish. This album has been produced by Trevor Horn from Yes. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, Porcupine Tree. And the album from Propaganda is called A Secret Wish from 1985. And the hit single is P Machinery, produced by Trevor Horn. Very good. Yeah. Do you know this album?
Yeah, that's a good record.
Yeah? Okay, nice.
Trevor Horn produced a lot of different stuff at the time, eh? Like he did Frankie Goes to Hollywood, but then he was doing Yes and that, and like he was all over the map, man.
Yeah, Trevor Horn was the producer from the 80s. Okay, then we go to Germany, Eloy. And Eloy made lots of albums, heavily influenced by Pink Floyd. And Eloy from Germany released the album Silent Cries and Mighty Egos.
That's your favorite, isn't it? That's your favorite Eloy, isn't it, Harold?
Sorry, Scott?
That's your favorite Eloy album, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my favorite Eloy album. This is fantastic. The first song is called Astral Entrance. And if you like Wish You Were Here and Animals, then you can try this one. This one is heavily influenced by those 2 Pink Floyd albums. And Frank Bornemann from Eloy is making a fantastic album. Silent Cries and Mighty Egos. Eloy from Germany. Okay, then we go to the Netherlands. Earth and Fire. This is one of their best albums. Earth and Fire is a Dutch band from the 70s. And this album is called To the World of the Future. And that's also the first song from this album from 1974. And Earth and Fire is Johnny Kaagman on vocals and the Cooch brothers on keyboards and guitar. And this is prog rock by far, pure 70s prog rock. Earth and Fire to the world of the future.
Cool.
You can find it on YouTube and you can listen to that album. Then we go to Peter Gabriel, part 3. This one is called also called Melt. And on the first song is Intruder. Now a trick question. Who's drumming on Intruder?
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins, yes. And
My guy.
The drumming on Intruder by Phil Collins was a year later on Face Value with In the Air Tonight. Yeah.
It's that gated sound, my friend.
Same sound. Intruder by Peter Gabriel on the third album, Melt, with Phil Collins on drums. Great album. Then I could have chosen all those Genesis things from last week, but I thought no repeat, that would be too much. So I take an album which is not popular from Genesis, but I like it, Calling All Stations. And the title track is fantastic. It's as good as Mama, but nobody knows it. It's Calling All Stations with Ray Wilson on vocals. Genesis. Okay, great. Then my top 10. My top 10, number 10, Focus from the Netherlands with Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus by Focus.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus. And Hocus Pocus with Thijs van Leer yodeling and on his Hammond organ. And of course, the famous Jan Akkerman on guitar. Oh, what a band, Focus. And this track, Hocus Pocus, was a top 10 single in the USA. Was very successful, this album. So, okay, great stuff. Then we go to Rush with even kijken, Subdivisions from Signals. I really like Signals. It's a great album. And Subdivisions is a great opener with Geddy Lee on keyboards, bass pedals, and vocals. That's great stuff, man.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite Rush albums. The last 2 songs I have to mention because they are so great. And Losing It is with Ben Mink on violin. Losing It is a great song. It's very emotional. And then also a great closure is Countdown, when they talk about the space shuttle which is going into space, and they are at Cape Canaveral, countdown from 10 to 0. That's Countdown, last song. But today, Subdivisions, the first song from Rush, Signals.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Okay. Then
I'm pissed that I forgot to pick Rush, man.
I know. How?
I mean, look at this. How could I have forgot to pick Rush? Oh, man.
Okay, then we go again to Canada. Saga, that great band from Canada. That's really great stuff. This is one of their best albums, the third album, Silent Night. And the first song is maybe the most famous Saga song ever. They still play it in their live shows, also in the Netherlands. And that's, of course, Don't Be Late, Chapter 2. Don't Be Late from Saga on the Silent Night album. If you don't know them, start with this album. Silent Night, Saga, Canada. Great stuff.
I know those guys. I even played Steve Negus's drum kit once.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
Well, they're from here, right? So I was like, you can run into them pretty easily. I played his kit. He's a left-handed drummer. I'm right-handed, but just for fun, he let me do it. So.
Okay, and then we go to Emerson, Lake and Powell. Powell.
Good. Cool.
That's in my opinion, it's a great album, and it's from 1985. It was really popular in the United States, and they also toured the United States, Emerson, Lake and Powell. And the first song, the score, is very good. The whole album is fantastic in my opinion. And Emerson, Lake and Powell is the only band in my collection where all members are dead. You know that.
Ooh.
What a lovely,
Full
lovely
members.
note,
Oh,
Harold.
man.
Thank
You
you.
don't have any. You don't have any Jimi Hendrix experience.
Oh, yeah.
And
They're
some
all in
Motorhead.
heaven. They're all in heaven playing together.
Yeah.
Okay. Then even kijken. We go to Italy. We go to Premiata Forneria Marconi, PFM.
Ah, great.
From Italy. This is the most famous Italian prog rock band ever. They've sold loads of records. I've seen them twice live in the Netherlands. That was really great. And this is a very good album from the early 70s. Premiata Forneria Marconi, PFM, with The World Became the World.
Yeah.
And if you don't know PFM, start with this one. The first song is called The Mountain, and it's great stuff. If you like Genesis and King Crimson, you mix them together, you have PFM. So that's great
Wow,
stuff.
there you go.
And you can also get this one in Italian. Then it's called L'Isola di Niente. L'Isola di Niente, which means the island of nothing. Okay, The World Became the World, a great album. It's as good as the early Genesis and the early King Crimson. So, try this one. Premiata Forneria Marconi.
They're beautiful.
Love it.
Okay.
Say that 5 times fast.
PFM. Okay. Then we go to UK. Danger Money is my thumbnail. Is my thumbnail on my channel. So this is, in my opinion, the best UK album with Eddie Jobson, Terry Bozzio, and of course the late John Wetton on vocals and bass. And the album opener is the title track, Danger Money. I think it's great stuff. It's in fact my number 5. Okay, then we go to King Crimson with Red.
Yeah.
Good.
And in my opinion, is this the best? This is the best King Crimson album ever. I think it's even better than the first one, In the Court of Crimson King, in my opinion. And Red, the title track is also the first track. Red is very powerful and it's great. So we have John Wetton, Bill Bruford, and Robert Fripp. And Dave Cross is also on the album, but was not official a member in those days. Okay, Red by King Crimson, number 4. Then we go to number 3, Marillion, Script for a Yestersteer. I think it's
good,
fantastic.
I own that one.
Yeah, and it's of course title track, Script for Yestersteer. By Marillion with Fish in the Band. This is their debut album from 1983. And I've seen them live in 1987. And they also played, of course, songs from this album. And in 1987, Fish did his last tour with Marillion. But nobody knows that because in 88, he left the band. Okay, this is a great album. Then we go to number 2. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here, with Shine On You Crazy Diamond.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Last year, I visited a concert by Roger Waters and his band in Amsterdam, and they played most part of Shine On You Crazy Diamond Part 2. So that was special because always they play Part 1, but now they did Part 2, which is also great.
It's a fantastic album.
Indeed.
Then we go, of course, to my T-shirt.
Yeah. Were you getting
my number 1.
Yeah.
Tarkus, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I think this is mind-blowing. And in 1971, this was really new because nobody like Keith Emerson did all those keyboard things. It has never done before, in my opinion. So this was groundbreaking. Tarkus by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. A great album and a great cover. Great artwork.
Incredible.
Yeah. So
Harold dropped the fire again today, didn't he? Oh, good job, Harold. Those are great picks. Rock solid. I expected nothing less. And you're going to be with us next week too, right, Harold?
Yeah, Sticks.
Sticks next week. Oh, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
But there's nothing more exciting than getting to pick the brain of the great Pontus from Stockholm. We've got the Swedish prog nerd. He's going to unveil his top 10 right now. Pontus.
Yes. I'd like to start with something that Harold was mentioning. It's been announced that they will have a free CD box set of the Emerson, Lake and Powell album plus live material.
Yeah.
Esoteric will release that probably in the during the spring. Here's the deal with my picks. I watched a guy we already mentioned called Andy Edwards the other day, and he had a video called "Is Rock Dead?" And to claim that he had sort of a talking that was 10 nails in the coffin of rock, and it was everything from disco to actually aging musicians through, and he also mentioned downloading, and he mentioned MTV, Live Aid, and so on and so forth. And so I thought, I do think he had so many great points, but I do think that music and rock music, as we know it, and the prog scene is where it should be, in a sense that it's underground. Yep. It's very much underground, and I think rock music at the moment is very fruitful because of the Bandcamp thing and all that. And so I thought I had an idea, because Cody, I'm going to love a bomb on you for a minute. You had this wonderful video where you showed great albums from the last 20 years. It's right on it's right up on the channel, right?
Pontus is a deep fan of Brockway's Vinyl Bites. Thank you.
Yeah, and I thought that was a great thing. So my picks, I have 15, 5 honorable mentions and 10. My picks are not older than 2000.
Wow. Cool.
I did this because I wanted to prove, I didn't want to prove Andy wrong, but I wanted to prove myself right. Well, I'm aging as well, and most of us do, and hell no, I don't want to go. So I just thought maybe I could do this, and I've been listening to a lot of strange stuff recently for the last 20 years. So here we go. I'm going to get one out of the way, and that is Spock's Beard from the album 5.
Yeah, and
that is At the End of the Day. Beautiful song. A beautiful epic that Neil Morse wrote, I guess. And it's just a fantastic epic. And it's next to the last album he was on. And lots of my music comes from Norway because I like the jazz scene over there. And as Scott says, there's a lot of things going on in Scandinavia at the moment that is very good. And I love a company called Rune Gramophone. They put out a lot of fusion, a lot of Norwegian jazz, and a lot of rock stuff and avant-garde and stuff. And they put out a band called Crocofant. Crocofant is sort of a soft machine band, but much more aggressive.
Yeah.
If you can imagine that. And they made an album called Q. And this is Q Part 1. It's actually 4 songs on that album. If you want your fusion very, very animatic, sort of in your face, and no nonsense, this is the way to go. Crocofant Q from the album. And then we're going differently. I'm going to try to read, and this is hard when you're visually impaired. I'm going to read Japanese for you.
Oh boy.
This is a band called Kori Kian. And this is a song called Swan Dive from an album called Tundra. This is very, very, this is speed. This is Japanese speed prog. This is a trio. I don't know how many albums they made, but this is fantastic. This is just a romp through 6 or 7 minutes. It's just fantastic when it's they play their socks off. And also I like to one of my next to last honor mention is Simon Stensland. Simon Stensland. He's from Sweden. He's doing
he's awesome.
Great sort of Rio sort of what should we call it? Like almost like filmic music, very scary sometimes. And he made some sort of a Rush joke here because he called it A Farewell to Brains, this album. And this is a song called Schrödinger's Cat. It's a 50-minute piece that is just mind-melting. Lots of great guitar, lots of great keyboards. Morgan Organ is on here.
Oh, wow.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite drummers of all time.
Yeah. He's just cool. He's a very good friend as well. My last honorable mention is a band from Belgium called Aranis. They play what I call chamber prog. Some would call it in the REO spheres, but this is a chamber orchestra playing prog. This is quite, it's very, very beautiful. The album is called Rock 4, and the track is called Rock, and it's called ROQUE. So it's a French rock.
Cool.
And if you like to find out, if you want to check out how a string ensemble play with a few clarinets and stuff, play great prog, that is the way to go. We're going back to now it's number 10.
Okay.
I love Hedvig Målestad. Hedvig Målestad
she's
is a great guitarist.
She's amazing.
Yeah,
think Pontus
she's
is
amazing.
taking us to school
she's
here.
from Norway. She has a great trio. They have made a lot of albums. It's like if you have a concert with Mahavishnu and Black Sabbath, but you have the two guitarists swap bands. It's almost like it's heavy, but it's complicated. It's heavy jazz, but it's not as complicated as Mahavishnu, but it has that feel.
It's Prague, man. Hedvig is definitely Prague, but she brings that like Mahavishnu kind of jazzy thing. Awesome. If you don't know her and her trio, definitely good call on that one.
And I'm going with an album called Black Stabat Mater from 2016, and this is another 50-minute called Approaching on Arrival. And this is heavy, but it's so, it's uplifting. There's a lot of things happening with these three elements, guitar, bass, and drums, and you can't go wrong with it. I urge you to go and go and check out Hedvig Målestad, either solo or her trio. We're going to stay with the Rune Gramophone guys. There is another trio, and this is ELP on speed. And by that, I don't mean that they sing like Lucky Man or C'est la vie very fast. This is, if you want to hear toccata, if you're into the knottier side of talkers, this is your thing. This is in your face organ fusion. And this band is called Elephant 9. And Simon Storlöken is the keyboard player, and they had this fantastic drummer called Torsten Lofthus. And my choice is Black Hole is a song from an album called Atlantis. and this was released in 2013.
And their bass player played on the Lars Fredrik Freusley solo
Yeah.
album Fire for Tellinger. For those that may not know Elephant 9, there's something maybe a little bit closer to home that you could, but nothing like Wobbler, man. Elephant 9, it does not sound like Wobbler, so don't get it twisted. Good call.
Not like that at all.
No.
There is 2 great live albums by them. It's called Psychedelic Backfire, which is just fantastic. Go and get those. You're gonna have your face melted. And we're gonna end with another. This Norwegian section will end here. The great, fantastic Trondheim's finest, Motorpsycho. And I will go with their Kingdom of Oblivion album.
Okay.
And The Waning is the opening track. Motorpsycho is a band that has been around since the 90s. They are going in all different directions. Well, they're usually very heavy, but they play with symphony orchestras. They played with lots of prog. There's a lot of improvisations. They have a lot of live albums that are just fantastic. They done many fantastic albums. They just made an acoustic album. I saw them last year. It was a fantastic show. And this is quite heavy, but it's like Black Sabbath heavy, right?
Oh, good. I'll like it then.
Yeah, it's like and it goes in different ways, and always into a bit of psychedelia as well.
Yeah, great band, love them.
Great band, and well, they already been mentioned, but I picked another track. One of my major bands during this period has been Porcupine Tree. I stumbled over Porcupine Tree on the first issue of Classic Rock I bought on a sampler from them. It was something from the Lightbulb Sun, yeah. But this is the track that really got me, and it's from Absentia, and it's Blackest Eyes.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
What a great song that is. What a great
stuff.
That blew my head off the first time I heard that track.
Yeah. And it's so beautiful in the middle, and it just kills in that riff. It just
Francis, have you ever listened to the lyrics in that song?
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, it is. It is. I wouldn't be in that garden shed for years, no. We're going back to Japan, and this is going to be very complicated, but I love it, and it's really one of those things that really can. Well, I played this track for a friend of mine who is a giant heavy metal fan. We were in the gym, and I said, "Yeah, would you want to work out to this?" And I played him Kuajin Hojakin.
Oh boy.
And he said, I'm getting nervous hearing this. This is soul. This is soul music. This is from Magma, the Magma school. And this is some crazy Japanese people on this one.
Yeah,
it's insane, but it's so
right over my head, insane. Brother.
It's Viets. Bear with me. Viets Temeri Tarif from the Dore Mer Square.
Yeah.
Well done.
I apologize for the Japanese listeners. I won't do harakiri. I'm not into that. Back to Norway. The great Jaga Jazzist. The great Jaga Jazzist that was once an electronic group now is more considered a sort of fusion between.
They're crazy.
Electronica, and they started it all in Norway. That was a major band to kick it off, this new sort of scene there. And I'd like to introduce you to an album they made with the Britain Symphony, the Symphonia, back in 2013. They made a beautiful album called One Armed Bandit in 2010, and then they went on tour with an orchestra, and it went from a 7-minute track to a 15-minute track. if you want to hear an orchestra playing with an electronic big band, you're going to love it. If you're into Zappa and you want to hear the Norwegian variation of that, go with this One-Armed Bandit with Jagged Assist from that album. So we're hitting number 4 now.
Number 4.
Yeah. And I'm going, I've been, I said I was a Porcupine Tree fan. And I also went when Steven Wilson went solo. I saw him many, many times. I saw Porcupine Tree once, 2008 or 2007. Then I've seen Wilson a few times. And I love Hand Cannot Erase, the album.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
So I picked First Regret, 3 Years Older.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a fantastic composer. He's just enormous. When he wants to be, he can write the best piece of music that this for the last 20 years. It's just amazing.
Incredible.
And the story behind that album, that was based on a true story about the girl who was found dead after 3 years and all that. It's a horrifying story. And I think he likes that stuff.
That song, that Hand Cannot Erase song, should have been a massive hit single.
Yeah.
Should have been huge.
And that ending song as well could have been huge. Now I'm going to go with a dear friend of mine who's done a great album last year. Mats Öberg made Visa för Inröra. I mentioned it a few weeks ago. And this is, if you're into Canterbury, if you're into Zappa, if you're into REO, Henry Cow and all that, you love this album. It's marrying Canterbury with Swedish folk music. Mats, of course, worked with Morgan Organ for many, many years, almost 40 years now, and made a great band, Mats and Morgan. This is his whole album. I just want everybody to listen to this. Visa från inöra, the songs from your inner ear. And it's just a fantastic... Mike Keneally is on it. And so there's a Zappa reference. But what could possibly top that? I'm going to go... My ancestors are from Skåne. Skåne is on the very south of Sweden. And I'm going to a little village called Agusa. That's how you pronounce it. That's how you pronounce it. Agusa.
You were telling me about them.
Yeah. This is just a wonderful, wonderful piece. And I thought for many times, when I did this list, I said, no epics. Then I thought again as if, oh man, I have to. It's just gonna.
Oh, there we go.
So we're gonna play. That album has 2 songs on it. It's called "En annan värld," another world.
Oh, yeah.
And it's called Sagobrus. How do I pronounce that? It's the waves of tales. You can probably. That is 22 minutes of absolute fantastic Scandinavian prog. If Camel and Bo Hansson had an album together, if you're into that fantastic, beautiful flute, there's everything you want from your Jordsjö and all that stuff. If you're into Änglagård and all that, this is a good bit. This is the Camel side of that.
Oh yeah.
So an annan värld of Agusa is just fantastic, and I'm going to see them probably twice this year. Right. And I hopefully they just an improvisational band. They're just fantastic. What can possibly top that? It's an album from 2018. I played his album just the other day. I just turned the lights out because I live with Anna and she wants to sleep, so I just turned it out, and it scared me stiff listening to this album. Shame on you, Johan Brand. And it's a fantastic, scary, beautiful album. It's one of the best Swedish album of this decade to come out. And of course, it is All Traps on Earth. And the title track of that.
Yeah.
And I think that the album is not called All Traps on Earth. It's called A Drop of Light.
Drop of Light.
Yeah. It is fantastic. It's, it's 4 songs or 6 songs or something like that. But it's all, if you're into Goblin, if you're into horror movie music, if you're into Scandinavian prog, if you want to go on a journey that is much darker, but it's so revealing, it's just a fantastic album. And he worked ages with making this album.
Awesome
So
album.
It's a fantastic. So just go out there and listen to it. You won't be disappeared, but leave the lights on.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, his daughter singing all that spooky stuff on that record will give you nightmares, no doubt about it. All Traps on Earth, an amazing album. Pontus, once again, delivering the goods, and really, there was a couple on there I'd never even heard of before, so
Yeah,
that's cool.
Pontus took us to school here.
He did.
Yes,
He took us all.
you're always a fountain of knowledge. It's great to hear you talking. Like you know what you're talking about. It's fabulous.
Thank you. You do too. I think we all do.
Instead of going on and on about a few records, I'm just gonna go speed dating here right now. Luminol. Come on, man.
Oh yeah. That's
not on my list.
That's the other one.
Panoapo, not on the list. Per Amico.
Yes.
Not on my list. Or how?
Oh.
How's Freefall not on the list? It's not on the list. Or, I'm doing 3 at once here. My 3 favorite heavy metal openers.
There they are. There they are. Ooh.
Yeah. And you got the blue one too. I have that as well.
Delivering the goods. Come on, man. Metal knows a little something about how to put a great track on the front end. Somebody mentioned Spock's Beard 5. I'm not doing any epics on my list, so I'm going with the Kindness of Stranger and The Good Won't Last. Such a great song. Few people mentioned Vandergraaf Generator. I'm going with The Undercover Man. What a great opener. Everybody knows how I feel about Inca Roads.
Yeah.
And me too.
I feel the same.
But, band I don't talk enough about is Muse. I absolutely love Muse. And The Origin of Symmetry is a Prog album, and Newborn is just such a killer opener. I said I'd be giving some love to Andy Edwards, and yes, I am, with the Hyperventilate off the debut Frost album, Million Town. What a great opener that is. Classic
Absolutely.
Rock knew a little something about a great opener, more than a feeling. Come on, man. Is there a better way to start an album with that song? Totally gets you in the mood.
They could have put the next one.
How about
Free Hand?
Giant off a Free Hand. There's no better way to start an album than hand claps and finger snaps, right? Come on, man. I'm Just a Clown in the Eyes of the World. Had to put a Swedish band on there for you, Pontus, but the third Kings album opens with a non-epic, so I'm allowed to put it on. Yes, such a great opening track. And
love those guys.
See. My top 10. Here we go. My top 10. This is going to be exciting. At number 10, in honor of next week's stream, I could have gone with Light Up. I could have gone with the Put Me On, but I'm going with the title track from The Grand Illusion. What an amazing way to start an album. It's perfect. It's genius. It's my number 10. I can't wait for next week where we get to talk about the awesomeness that is Styx. At number 9, we're going back to the other side of the pond. And it's been mentioned a bunch in the live chat. It's School off of their third album, Crime of the Century. Just what a perfect way to start a perfect album. Sets the whole tone for the whole thing. Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Another one that's been mentioned here. Where am I? Number 8. You know, about 4 or 5 of you mentioned this already. It's Spirit of the Radio.
Yeah.
Spirit of the
Yeah.
Radio.
Oh, I'm so pissed I didn't pick that.
It totally announces that Rush has taken their game to another level, but we're still Rush and we're still amazing. And oh yeah, Cody, I think you had this on here. I was going to change it at the last minute to something else, but you know what? You can't do this list without 21st Century Schizoid, man. You just can't. Well, and let's put Red on there. Hey, I almost went with The Great Deceiver off of Starless and Bible Black because I always thought that was an amazing opening track.
It
but,
is.
You know, it's King Crimson. It's got to be at number 6. Oh, I went back and forth. I almost went with Carry On Wayward Son. I almost went with Point of No Return, but I'm going with Can I Tell You off the debut Kansas album. There's just something about that first song of a band's first album. If it creates that kind of mission statement to the world, this is who we are. This is what we do. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. But they made no apologies for what they were trying to do. They were trying to be the Heartland's version of Yes or Genesis. And we don't care if you like it. Well, they do care if you like it because they almost got fired after Mask anyway. At number 5. I'm surprised the Aqualung was not all over here in the comments and in you guys' lists. So I balked and I went with Songs from the Wood. I think it's almost as effective as Aqualung. If I had my vinyl in the same room we're doing this in, I would have swapped it out with Aqualung. But actually, I think this is almost as an effective an opener. Really tells you what's going on with this album. They're going a whole different direction, and it totally works. So I'm going with that. At number 4, probably the only surprise I put on my list. But you guys know how much I love XTC, so I'm going with Respectable Street, the opener from their 4th album. Black Sea. It's talk about a song being a mission statement. There's more ideas in this 3-minute pop song than most bands had in their entire career. If you want to know if XTC is any good or if they're prog or not, they're not prog. They're progressive pop. But I'm telling you what, Respectable Street, just perfect. I love it. At number 3. Yeah, I'm going.
Yes.
I just think it's a perfect opening track. It's short. It's to the point. Goes straight to the jugular. Goes straight to the old heartstrings. I'm not even English, and I'm crying when Greg's singing about, you know, England's hills and all that kind of stuff. I have no idea. I'm an American, so I'm dumb like that. At number 2, it's been mentioned, and it has to be. It's Watcher of the Skies. Just such a perfect opener. It was perfect for Foxtrot. It was perfect for Genesis Live. It was perfect for Fish to play before Genesis got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They knew what time it was. It's Watcher of the Skies. And yeah, I see Gray Evers in the comments, and I believe he's the guy that was talking smack about Foxtrot.
No, it was JT.
One. Oh, you're right. It was JT. It was that guy.
No, I know.
Gray Evers, the guy that wants me to do a Southern Rock episode. And that may happen someday, but, you know, we got to do our Straubs episode and our we got a few other things. At number 1, it's what you guys been waiting for. Oh, I could have gone with Machine Messiah. Such a great opener. I could have gone with Yours Is No Disgrace. And, you know, I'm not doing epics, so I couldn't do Close to the Edge. I couldn't do The Revealing Science of God. I couldn't do The Gates of Delirium, but I sure can do Roundabout.
I knew it.
And it has to be Roundabout, man. I mean, anytime this song comes up, you know, people are like, to be continued. So it's appealing to old boomers like me, but the young people can also identify with it because it is a meme, I guess, and a lot of kids know that. But you know what? This song was their first big hit. It's the one that broke them wide open. So it's the song that made me fall in love with. Yes, it's the song that made me fall in love with Prog. So yeah, Roundabout's number 1 for best album openers. This was an awesome episode, guys.
Yeah.
And Tara,
Guys and Sarah, yeah.
I don't know.
You can I can just be considered one of the guys now, I suppose.
Well, it is a thing where we Americans don't have, we don't know how to talk right. We absolutely don't. And one of the things we get hung up on is the third person plural. How do you say you all? You guys, yins.
We say you guys in Ireland as well. If there's women in the room, even we'll say or lads. Well, lads, how we, so it's fine. It's fine. You can say whatever you want.
I want to say the guy that you responded to, you said brilliant, great seeing Clonad mentioned. Wanakawa, that's my dad.
Oh, fantastic!
He loves
the Irish stuff. Brilliant.
He doesn't love you too, but he loves.
Because neither do I.
Oh, good.
Anyway, great panel, great episode today. Real quick, I'll take it around and let everybody talk about what they're planning on doing this week. Wayne, what's going on?
Kind of mentioned it at the beginning, kind of what's going on with my channel, but I'll just mention some other ones that didn't get mentioned on here. Opening Move by Griffin.
Yeah.
Yours Is No Disgrace by Yes.
Yeah.
Nuclear Attack Greg Lake, Hell's Bells by Bill Bruford. What else? Midnight Madness by England. Proclamation by Gentle Giant.
Yep.
Dude.
Killers. I think I mentioned. That's pretty much it. But yeah, not much going on now.
Hey, most of those were mentioned in the comments. So, the people in the peanut gallery definitely know what time it is. Cody, what you got cooking, man?
Well, we're always doing something fun on Brockway's Vinyl Bites. I'll be uploading some more drum covers, and I'll be uploading some more cool content. But I want to shine a light on what we're doing next weekend. Wayne, and of course, any of you guys are welcome as well. We are going to be talking about 10 albums that changed our lives, respectively. It could be pop, it could be prog, a lot of prog, obviously. It could be metal, obviously, a lot of metal. But it's just going to be, they don't even have to be our favorite albums by those bands, but it could be like, this is the one that set that paved the way for this period of my life, right?
Nice.
It's like Led Zeppelin 2 was the album that put me on the path, but now I don't know if I would say that was my number one Zeppelin album. It's just the one that that set me on that path, and so we'll be doing that on Brockway's Vinyl Bites on the weekend. Of course, I think Scott and Pontus and Tara and Wayne and Harold and everyone should join us, but yeah,
it goes.
Killer.
Tara, your numbers have been great. Your channel's really, really taking off. We're so happy for you.
Absolutely.
What's next?
So we're currently struggling to put together a ranking of the best albums of 1969 because they're turning 55 this year.
Too many.
And it's killing us trying to do it, but that will be going up next week.
There's so many.
And we're going to do the top drummers, the top vocalists. We've so much planned. It's just we don't know where to start. So there'll just be so much stuff coming. So just keep an eye on the channel.
Make sure you do.
We will.
And I will be. Everyone, go subscribe to Spin in Prague.
Everybody.
Obviously, you know what to do.
Everybody.
And everybody. Yeah. Come subscribe to Brockway's Vinyl Bites, please. Come subscribe to Pocket Full of Heap. Obviously, you're subscribed to the Prog Corner already.
Yeah,
and Harold's Prog Rock Show. I mean, come on. Yeah. We should do an off the cuff episode, all of us, where we just talk about this album just for like 20 minutes, if we can. That would be so cool, just randomly to do something like that.
Not a bad idea. Harold, we're doing something with you on your channel here coming up. What else do you have planned on Harold's Prog Rock Show?
I have plans for this week to do a review on the new Steve Hackett album. It will be the new one, which is called The Circus and the Night Wheel. I think it's really good. It's one of his better albums. So I will do a review on my channel, Harold's Prog Rock Show. And since I've been on your show, and now this is the third time, Scott, my numbers are growing with new subscribers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yay!
Not just
So,
new
that's nice.
subscribers. Don't get hung up on the subscriber count. What you want is good subscribers and people that know what time it is and are actually watching videos and actually care about the music. And that's my people here. And I hope they're all going on to Harold's Prog Rock Show and hitting that subscribe button for him. We got Cody back for the last couple minutes here. But Pontus, what do you got going on? Anything new in your world?
Yeah, we are at the Contrarians. We just recorded a very interesting show where the theme was if you were to introduce a person to a new genre, what 5 songs would you choose? And many people, we were 5 or 6 people there, and it was everything from country rock to 60s pop to electronica to Britpop to fusion. So it's a very interesting, it's like you said, taking you to school, trying to learn what Osaka mountain guys were and or Tekre or whatever. You can actually learn a few things there. And we're also going to do, there is the 5 best music videos I will appear on. So I have to think about that.
Okay.
So that is coming up, and there's always something on the Contrarians. And I will also appear. I will also appear on the Cody show as well next week. So
there you go.
If you haven't enough of me here, you can watch Cody.
We can't, Pontus. We can't get enough of you, and that's a fact. But thanks to everybody for being on this panel today. All the people in the Peanut Gallery, I really appreciate it. Next week, like I said, we're doing Styx, their 10 best songs. That's going to be amazing. That's February 25th, and then on March 3rd, which is 2 weeks from today, I'm ranking all 208 Yes songs right here 2 weeks from today. All 208 of them from worst to best. And trust me, there's some stinkers. So it's going to be very interesting to see if I can get through all of them in 90 minutes. And then I'm actually really excited about some new albums that have come out recently or are fixing to come out. Next week, I am going to be reviewing the new Samurai of Prague album, A Quiet Town. Really, really good. There's a new Carphagen album, or Carphagen, or however you pronounce Anthony Kalugin's little Ukrainian rock band he's got going on there. Messages from Afar Part 2, Second Nature, incredible. And yesterday, I just got my filthy little paws on Pat Sanders' Drifting Sun, his new album Veil, with the great, the powerful, the mighty Jargon on vocals, that dude from Verbal Canuck. Man, I just love him so much. That album's so great. Samurai of Prague, Carphagen, Drifting Sun. We've got Mark Anthony K that we're somehow going to get in here. Apparently Project Gemini's got something new. So, there's lots of stuff going on here in the Prague corner. But anyway, I just want to wish you guys a great Sunday. I love you. Peace in the Middle East. Free Tibet and God save the king. Save King Chucky. He needs your saving. That boy's got the cancer and he needs your thoughts and prayers. Yes, he does. And I will see you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, that